Hey guys, welcome to the first week challenge. This week is going to be about self-esteem, about identifying, evaluating, and then putting it into practice. What I've noticed through my journey is that self-esteem is the basic foundation of any relationship that I have, direction that I'm moving in. It aligns with my internal talk and the conversation that I have outward with others. It allows for other people to connect with me and bond with me. And it allows me to be confident and fully present in my interaction with whether it's the universe, a person, a situation, or an experience. And so I want to cover integrity today. And integrity is kind of the overarching principle of self-esteem, because what it means is that you're showing up the way you want to, the way you're thinking, and the way you're telling other people to. And so it creates a foundation to develop honest relationships with the appropriate boundaries and with the appropriate direction. There are specific people that come into your life to help you accomplish certain things, and it's important to identify what things those people are in your life to accomplish. For example, the father of my children is not in my life to help me run my business, right? And so identifying what hats people play is important, and you're only able to do that through having some integrity. So what I would say about that is the first step to start getting into alignment with your self-integrity and being honest with yourself about areas that you could be putting maybe 5% more integrity into your life, or maybe being a little bit more honest with yourself, or relationships, is to just start asking these questions, right? So what is it that I want? What do I want? What direction do I want to move into? Because this whole exercise, I have a 6-week challenge, and that will be for becoming the perfect partner, so that you're able to attract a person that connects and bonds with you. But you need to know what your direction is, what qualities you really enjoy, what you want to embrace, so that a person can come along and connect with you on that. There's lots of people in the universe here on Earth, and so it's important to know and identify where you're at and what you want. So being able to fully show up in every experience, calling all of you back to yourself right now, is important because it eliminates the chatter that goes on in your head. And as we know, there's a lot of information, a lot of thoughts that go on in our head that don't come out of our mouth. And so it's important that the chatter in your head is in alignment with yourself, with your integrity. So the point of today is to kind of just get the juices flowing and to figure out, am I living it with integrity today? And if you're still not quite sure, what we're going to do over the next week is we're going to work out of using some of the principles of Nathaniel Brenton's book, The 6 Pillars of Self-Esteem. They're absolutely wonderful, but let me read you what they are. We're going to be talking about living consciously, self-acceptance, self-responsibility, self-assertiveness, living purposefully, and then integrity, which I chose to talk about today. Now, when we're able to identify our values, it makes it very easy to maintain a life that is in alignment with your integrity. And so one of the bigger questions that I get is, how do you know what your integrity is? Or at what point do you come to realize that maybe you're making choices that hurt your self-esteem, or you're just not giving yourself as much attention as you need to? Self-esteem is very tricky in a way where if you allow something to happen without speaking up on it, it can in turn hurt you. So this is a very proactive approach to maintaining self-worth. And in a world where we get so much influence from outside of us, you have to argue and ask yourself, what exactly is mine and what am I owning? And what am I taking with me into my relationships, especially your relationship with yourself? And so the intention of this week was to help introduce you to who you really are, what you really want, and how you want to exist, so that you can find a partner who can meet you on that same level. Every relationship that you keep, the fulfillment level of that relationship is a direct response, a direct reflection of your self-esteem and your self-worthiness. And so if you do have relationships in your life that you wish to improve, or that you can't figure out why you keep continuing down this cycle, or maybe some are unhealthy, unproductive cycles, maybe even abusive, it's a great opportunity to look at your self-esteem, because that's one way to fix it from the inside out. We have this pattern, especially in the Western hemisphere, to point out things that are outside of us. And think as if, we can change matter on matter instead of changing the energy behind it, and then having the matter gravitate towards it. And so this is we're going to work internally out to get the results we want in our environment. And self-honesty is going to be a huge one, because nobody's going to be checking your answers. After this video, there'll be some questions, thought-provoking questions, to kind of get you into what's going on in your life, very specific. And I urge you to do them as honest as you possibly can. And if you can't think of an answer right away, then take a few moments, or maybe respond throughout the day, or maybe write them down and respond later tonight. Because once you start asking a specific question, the answers will show up. They'll present themselves to you. It's your job to have a quiet brain and being willing and open to receiving that information. And so, I'm very excited. Looking at my self-esteem really changed my life. What my life looked like before I really started focusing on self-integrity and what that looks like and how I can live that in my daily life. I was constantly making decisions that didn't really serve me. They served other people, or I think it's what other people wanted, and so I did it because I was definitely a people pleaser. It feels good when you please other people. You get this chemical reaction. It's a vibrational feedback loop, and it feels good, but the problem is that it's very temporary. And once that person goes away, or that situation goes away, it's not sustaining energy to keep with you. And so it's almost, I would probably relate it to self-gratification. And so what we want is to develop this internal delayed gratification, where you're just getting this gratification from living the strongest self you can, with the highest level of confidence, so that you can be here and assert yourself and not judge yourself so much. So when I was making these decisions that didn't necessarily align with me, what I wanted, I was looking for compliments and feedback from other people outside of me, because I didn't trust my own voice. And so I ended up getting into situations that really were not healthy for me. I ended up attracting people who did not have my best interest in mind. They definitely, wanted something from me. And what I realized is that when I had children, I really needed to look at what it was about me that I was doing or not doing that is going to impact my children. For me, emotional security is one of the most important things in this world. And so all I want to do is help encourage people and teach people how to get that. And having integrity aligns you with self-security. And that security is something that nobody can take away from you, and nobody can really add to, because it's completely your story and your process and your practice. And so everything is a practice. We have good days and bad days, but the idea is that you do it enough that it becomes a way of life. And when we can start listening to our internal dialogue more than other people, it really bursts this freedom that allows us to interact with the world in a playful manner. And if you're a female watching this, then it's very important to tap into that feminine energy, because we naturally love to create and surrender and give. And so if we're having any level of insecurities within us, or like a deeper theme of insecure vibration, it's something that's going to get in the way with these gifts, these feminine gifts that we naturally want to do. And I just want to say this, on the spectrum of masculine energy and feminine energy, you can go any way you want. And even in specific jobs or hats that we put on during the day, those situations are called to be a little bit more masculine or called to be a little bit more feminine. And once you're able to identify what those look like in you specifically, it's much easier to move through them without attaching yourself to what you look like or how other people are experiencing you. Because I will say two things and then I'll get off here. It's none of your business what other people think about you, but it is your business how you present yourself to other people and how your intention is for them to experience you. And so there's a fine line, and you're allowed to move your way through it, and you get to decide. And that's what integrity is going to give you, is that it's going to stop letting you ask these questions, second guess yourself. You're going to become very stable and secure in why you're doing what you're doing, and it's going to give you freedom. Okay, bye.